Boomflowah! Good evening, this is BelGeode, and we are back with some more DCS World 1.5.6, otherwise known as the Open Beta. And tonight, we're going to do something a little bit different. Rather than get back into the Viggen, which is going to be our next episode, or getting back into the F5 Tiger II, which will be the episode following that, I want to do something different because this week I am going to be at Flight Sim Con at the end of the week. I will be flying out of Pittsburgh on Thursday, and I'll be back in Pittsburgh on Monday night. So I figure while I'm gone, you're probably going to have your hands full with all kinds of live video or almost live video from me, so I kind of want to just throw something out there to just chit-chat with you. You may be having deja vu if you already saw my FSX-based video where I was flying the L-39 Albatros. Well, I want to duplicate the same kind of thing here in DCS, so as you can see from the little picture here, got a whole bunch of little virtual friends that are going to be flying with me. It's real simple. We're going to take a tour. We're going to leave from Novorossiysk. We're going to go down to Sochi. It's nothing to get excited about. There's no combat, and I'm just going to talk about DCS since I did not touch on it with the video that I put up this past Monday. Alright, so now that we've gotten that out of the way, how about we go ahead and get this puppy started? Okay, so we are in the L-39 Albatros. Of course, one of my favorite aircraft, both in FSX and here in DCS. So why am I doing this? Well, if you caught the FSX episode that I put up on Monday, which would have been June the 5th, 2017, I believe, in that episode, I talked a lot about the new sims that are coming, that being Prepared version 4, as well as Dovetail Games' Flight Sim World. However, I also meant to talk about DCS. I did not get the opportunity in that video, and rather than have the video run extremely long, I wanted to do something that was more DCS specific, so that's what this video is about. There's not going to be any combat, so if you've come to see the Boomflowers, I hate to disappoint you, but I'll at least shout it once. Boomflowah! There you go, you got your Boomflowah. However, we are just going to be doing a quick tour. We are here in Novorossiysk. Let's take a quick look outside. So there we go. And as you can see, I have 6 L-39 Albatrosses set up right here. Mine is, of course, the purple one, which should look very familiar. The others are custom liveries that I downloaded from the DCS user page. The link, of course, will be below. The only thing you will not get a link to is, of course, my livery, which is my livery. You should recognize it from FSX. It's the same exact livery. I just remade it here for DCS. Now, I have this set up in the form of 2 separate flights. So there's me 2 and 3, and then there's 4, 5, and 6. I'm going to have 4, 5, and 6 do the lead because I really need to practice my formation flying. I'm probably going to suck at it, but honestly, that's the major reason why you have not seen me on very many multiplayer servers, because I'm just not good at all at formation flying. So hopefully I can make up for it in this video. Alright, but with all of that having been said, let's go ahead and see if we can get this puppy started up real quick here. Alright, first things first, I'm going to start on the left-hand side. So we have oxygen. It looks like it is currently on. We'll check the little gauge here. Yes, we have full oxygen tanks. We should also have full fuel. I highly doubt we're going to use the entire tank of fuel, but we should be good to go there. I am going to flick on this switch, which is the flight recorder. And we're going to need to go to the right-hand side to get some battery power here. All this stuff in the back I will not need to use. It's just not necessary for this flight. But we are going to turn the batteries on. We're going to bypass the generators for right now. We don't turn those on until the engine's on, but we will need the engine start switch. And we will need this switch to get all the gauges working here. The other switches we're going to need to turn on are going to be the inverters and the radio. so that way I can make my call out and get permission to start up. Alright, let me see here. Okay, we're probably going to want some lights. So I'm going to put the nav lights on. We'll put that in a fixed position. Hopefully I will remember to switch it to the flashing position when we're ready to take off. And then on this side we're probably going to need some instrument lights. So for now I'll put it on white and I'll kind of turn the brightness down just a touch. We really don't need it that bright. Okay, and then the last thing that we want to do before we start up is get the Saphir turbine engine starter on. So we'll push the button there. Close that. Wait for the light to come up on the caution and warning panel. It will be on the right hand side as always, next to the air conditioning. And it should be on in a second. Incidentally, I have named this aircraft Saphir, both in FSX and here in DCS. Alright, so the turbine engine starter is now on. So now would be a great time to call for clearance to start up. I'm going to put the mirrors on too, because I'm going to need that to see these guys behind me. And let's go ahead and contact the tower. In order to do that, I'm going to need to switch our radio frequency to frequency 1. There we go. And let's make the call.
Novorossiysk, Pontiac 9-1, request startup. Pontiac 9-1, Novorossiysk, clear for startup, wind 223, at 2 meters per second.
Okay, good deal. Before we start up, I'm going to put the throttle from idle stop into idle, and then we're going to lift the little cover here and push the button. Okay, so that should be popping up any minute now. We'll take a quick look at 2 and 3 while that's happening. So there's 2 rocking the VF or VFA 106 Gladiators livery. There's 3 with a nifty little civilian livery. 4, little bit of a racing livery here. Same thing for 5. And 6 with another civilian livery. Now you may notice that 4, 5, and 6 don't have any pilots in there just yet. I have a little trick for getting that added, and here's what we're going to do for that. We're going to flick the generator switches on, and when I switch on the second switch, that should trigger the pilots to start the aircraft. So now that the engine's on, I'm going to go ahead and get the rest of the switches up. We will leave 2 switches off, and that'll be this one here and that one there. We won't need those. And since it is a little loud outside, I'm going to go ahead and close the canopy. Okay, and we'll lock that. So much quieter. We'll also get the pressurization on. And I'm probably going to want my de-icer on. We'll put that to manual, so that way the windows don't fog up. Okay, there we go. Everything is looking good. Oh, flaps. We do need to put that to takeoff flaps. There we go. So that should be moving. Alright. We're just waiting for the air conditioner to register that it is currently on. It takes a few seconds for that to happen. There we go. It just changed over. Okay, and then of course we are also waiting for this guy right here, the radio altimeter, or radar altimeter. Oh, it looks like 4, 5, and 6 are starting up. Okay, so they're probably going to get moving in a second here. In the meantime, I'm going to shut this thing up by putting it to 0, and I'm thinking our decision height should probably be about 100 feet off the deck. So there we go. We'll set it for 100. Okay, and just a quick cursory glance. Pitot heaters, turn you on. Everything else on this side looks good. I think now is a good time to switch it to red, simply because I happen to like the red color. Hey, and look, there goes 4 and 5. 6 should be popping up any second there. There he is. Okay, so 2 and 3 are also ready to go. Let's just check the right-hand side. Everything looks good there. We just need to turn on our taxi light, which is pulling the switch towards me. The other position, of course, is landing lights. Alright, I would say we're ready to go. So let's go ahead and call the tower and get clearance to taxi.
Novorossiysk, Pontiac 9-1, request taxi to runway.
Any second now.
Pontiac 9-1. No notice. Clear to taxi to runway 22.
Sounds good to me. Okay, before we move off, I have to do my controls wipeout. Why? Because I always do my controls wipeout. Okay, controls wipeout is good, so we are ready to move off. I need to remember that this is not the FSX version, which I modified to have nose wheel steering. No, the real aircraft and also this aircraft in DCS uses differential braking, which I'm going to tell you right now is going to suck. I hate differential braking, but I wanted to fly this thing, so let's do it. Okay, now that 6 has vacated our spot, let's go ahead and push off. And look at that, I'm already veering too far to the opposite side. Incidentally, the taxi speed, I guess you would say, is going to be at about 70% RPM. I'll show you that gauge in a second as soon as I stop. Okay, right here should be good. Here we go, we get a little bit of a turn going. Alright, so the gauge in question is this one right here. We want to make sure that our N1 goes over 70 before we start taxiing. Just a little bit of a FYI there for you. Alright, let me see if those guys are far enough out. Yeah, I think I see 6 there. Okay, so what's going to happen with these guys is they are going to go out to sea and they're going to orbit until we get up and running. So let me just make sure that 2 and 3 are in position and then we can start this show. Okay, 2 and 3 are in position, so we're going to go ahead and request takeoff clearance.
Novorossiysk, Pontiac 9-1. Request takeoff. Pontiac 9-1. Novorossiysk, you are cleared for takeoff when ready. Climb 300 at QFE 766.67.
Okay, good deal. Alright, so I'm going to go ahead and put the landing lights on, and we will also change our radio frequency back to 0, so that way we'll hear... Like clockwork, like clockwork. That way we can hear our other flight. So those guys are currently orbiting. They'll also be getting in position. I'm going to head up now. Alright, so let me set this thing up to the proper camera angle and we will get a move on. Right there is good enough for me. So folks, you know what it's time for. Brakes down and throttles up. And with this aircraft, we do have to wait until the N1 goes past 100 before we even think about moving off. Right there looks good. We'll give it full throttle and brakes coming up and let's go. Okay, everything looks sweet, so we're going to go ahead and trim her up and see if we can bring her up to about 3,000 feet off the deck, where our buddies should be orbiting out there. Now, we don't have a GPS in this thing like I do in FSX. However, we do have the kneeboard.
2, wheels up.
Thank you, 2. 2 should be joining us momentarily, and we are about 1/3 of the way out to waypoint 1. Or I guess technically that would be waypoint 2.
Rolling.
There we go. 3 is rolling. And what are we looking like as far as altitude goes? We are just over 2,000. So yeah, we want to bring it up to about 3,000. And we're almost in position. So we should be able to see 4, 5, and 6. No visual on 4, 5, and 6 as of yet, but I'm going to pull the throttle back a little bit here, because I'm pretty sure we're at the waypoint. Almost. I'm a little off center here. Let's look to the left. Okay, wait for your wingman. Alright, that is my cue. So this is pretty much where we're going to make our orbit. I'm going to go out a little bit and then make a left-hand turn and see if I can scan and find the other guys here. Landing lights are still on. Let's see. Might be able to turn those off. There we go. Alright, I am not seeing 4, 5, and 6. I know they're flying around here somewhere. Alright, there's our airport. Ah, there we go. I got visual. I have visual. There's 4, 5, and 6. I'm going to pull the throttle back a bit here. And they are actually at 2,000 feet, it looks like. Okay, not a problem. As soon as 3 gets into the little area...
Pushing from waypoint 2 at 2,000.
There we go again, just like clockwork. Okay. So now we can start forming up and heading out. Now for this little tour, I'm going to be going over the port of Novorossiysk, and then we're going to overfly Gelendzhik Airport, which is just to the south of here, and take it up to about 8,000 feet. Once we get to 8,000 feet, we will be in cruise mode, and then I will start telling you what is going on here in DCS World. And let me just tell you as a preamble, a lot of good stuff is going on in DCS World right now, and in the months to come. Okay, I don't want to slam into this guy. Why is this guy lagging behind? I'm pretty sure I set them all to the same speed. I don't know what his problem is. It's taking a little long there. Alright, but we're going to see if we can pull up in formation with these guys. I kind of want to set it up where I am in the slot position, as the airshow guys call it. So it'll almost be like a diamond, and then of course I'll have 2 and 3 on my wing, just behind 5 and 6. Okay, what is our altitude? We're at about 4,000. So yeah, I'm a little bit higher up than these guys are. You know what? Let's take a quick look outside as everybody gets into formation. That's good enough for me. Let's see if we can stay with these guys. See, the problem that I have with formation flying with AI, even though I set the speed in the mission editor, I really have no idea if they're going to stick to that speed. With a real-life pilot, they can tell me, okay, you know, set your RPM percentage to XYZ percentage, and at least you'll know then that's what you have to do to keep up with real-life pilots. Unfortunately, DCS AI still leaves a little bit to be desired as far as that goes. But so far we're doing pretty good, and as you saw on the outside shot, looks like 2 is catching up quite nicely. 3 should be making the turn right now and coming up behind us. I am going to need to give it a little bit more throttle because it looks like these guys are losing us. And we're supposed to go up to about 6,000 feet by the time we get to Gladiators, and then take it up to 8,000 as I said before. Alright, so let's take a quick look outside and see if 3 is in position yet. He's getting there, slowly but surely. Okay, these guys are currently at 6,000. I can see them leveling off, so I'm going to do the same. We'll keep the throttle on full power, so that way we can catch up with them and stick with them throughout this. Of course, they're probably going to be increasing their throttle once they pass over Gladiators, which you might be able to see up ahead. See that other little bay there? And the airport stretching across the little part of the peninsula? That's what we're going to overfly. Alright, so we're almost in good shape, and looks like I'm catching up with these guys really quickly, so I'm going to put the throttle back to about 60%, and I might need to engage the speed brakes, so let's go ahead and do that real quick here. I want to set myself up to be right underneath number 4. Alright, baby, you can slow down any time now. That would be great. That would be really great. Alright, right there looks good. Close the speed brakes. Give it a little bit more throttle to compensate, and we are good to go. Look at that. So next stop is going to be our cruise altitude of 8,000. We should be passing the airport any minute now. Okay, so we are just now passing over Gladiators Airport, and I'm just waiting for the call from these guys that they are heading up to 8,000 feet. I can't really see 3 in my mirror. I can't see 2 either.
1, passing waypoint 4 at 6,000.
Okay, there we go. Let's give it a bit of throttle. Actually, let's give it a lot of throttle. Not too much throttle. I have noticed that the AI for this particular aircraft can be a little bit squirrely. And now I have no visual on these guys at all. But I am losing a lot of airspeed, and that's definitely no bueno. Alright, we're supposed to be at about 8,000. Ah, there they are. So I think right here should be good. I'm thinking we're probably going to stay closer to around 7,500. But that should be sufficient. Alright, so while I'm pulling myself back into formation, let's talk a little bit about what's been going on in DCS World. Now, as I'm sure you're aware, if you've been watching this channel this week, I am going to be at Flight SimCon this weekend. Flight SimCon, of course, is in Connecticut. However, Flight SimCon is only the 10th and the 11th, so it's this weekend. From the 13th through the 15th, next week, is going to be E3 2017. Now, E3 is going to be basically where the larger gaming community gets together. And even though Eagle Dynamics has opted not to go to Flight SimCon, they have decided they are going to E3. So what are we going to be seeing at E3? They have promised to unveil the debut of the FA-18 Hornet, which, come to find out, both them and BelSimTech have been working on. It's coming, folks. I know we've been joking all this time, talking about 2 more weeks. It's finally coming, and we are going to get our first look at the Hornet at E3 in the next coming weeks. So that is really, really exciting. And I'm going to go below this guy here. Alright, there we go. Speed brakes in. good to go. Alright, so now I just need to match speed with these guys. So yeah, now, in addition to which, the Hornet I should add will come with a theater. And that theater, I believe, is going to be the Strait of Hormuz, which is in the Middle East. So basically, we're going to have a Middle East theater with a lot of water that we can do some carrier ops in. From my understanding, that map is almost complete. It is in a state of what they call final polish. So rest assured, we're going to have another place that we can play. We won't be stuck between here, Nellis, and Normandy. Now that Normandy has been released and out of the way, well, you know what I mean, it's not released but in alpha, they can concentrate on getting the Persian Gulf all set up for the Hornet. So that is really exciting. Holy crap, you guys, you need to give me some warning when you do that here. That's crazy. And look at this guy. Tail and Charlie. You're lollygagging, buddy. Come on. You're supposed to be like the Blue Angels here. Work with me. Work with me. Okay, now another bit of information concerning E3 and the unveiling of the Hornet. Unbeknownst to me, apparently Eagle Dynamics is in partnership with Thrustmaster. Now, what does that even mean? Well, if you recall, Thrustmaster developed the A-10 Warthog HOTAS, hands-on throttle and stick, when Eagle Dynamics came out with that. They have promised that they are also going to be doing the same thing for the F-18 Hornet. Now, do you have to go out and purchase a brand new HOTAS system just to use the Hornet? Absolutely not. But for those of you who are really into making your cockpit feel like the aircraft that you're flying, that's your opportunity right there. They're going to be unveiling their Hornet HOTAS that is going to be coming sometime soon. They haven't stated a date as of yet, but I'm pretty sure if you tune into Twitch and probably YouTube while E3 is going on, we will definitely get more information on that. Needless to say, that is really, really exciting. Like I said, we've been joking for all this time about how long they've been taking with the Hornet. It finally is starting to feel like it's about to happen, which of course means that I won't be showing too much more of the Hornet mod. And really, I only did that kind of for giggles anyway. I just wanted you to kind of see that it was out there if you were so inclined to try it out. But no, this is the real deal, and it's coming real soon. I love it. But that is not the only good stuff that's coming. As I'm sure you're well aware on this channel, my absolute favorite aircraft of all time is also coming. That, of course, being the F-14 Tomcat, which is, of course, being designed by Heat Blur Simulations, the same people that made the Viggen. Now, what's been going on with Heat Blur as of late? We haven't really heard as much out of them as some of the other developers. However, whenever they do offer us something, it's always rather compelling. And today, as I'm recording this on Facebook, Heat Blur is showing off multiplayer testing. Basically what they've done is they've taken the Chrome version of the Tomcat, which they're nicknaming the Chrome Cat, and they've placed it in Nellis, or in the NTTR map, and they're actually practicing as a 2-ship. I suppose eventually they'll practice as a 4-ship, but for right now what I'm seeing is a 2-ship, and they're showing off things like how the radar interacts, how the crew interacts, just as they would in a real Tomcat flight or in Top Gun. And in addition to which, they're also showing off the TCS system, the television camera system that is in the front seat of the Tomcat. And let me tell you, that looks sweet. I love whenever they do any kind of FLIR, so the one that's in the Frogfoot and the one that's in the Warthog are awesome. But this is the TCS system. I remember seeing this as a kid when they had the one incident in Libya where they shot down those 2 MiG-23s. We're getting this. It's coming with the Tomcat, and it looks oh so sweet. Now, Heat Blur has had some criticism as of late because of the fact that they're using this Chrome Cat, but they have reassured us that they do have an art team that's currently working on the official textures that are going to come with it, so all the various liveries. And I'm going to tell you right now, one of the ones that I'm going to be flying the most is going to be VF-143, the Pagan dogs. I've mentioned in previous videos in the past, I've met pilots with the Pagan dogs, and they are still my favorite fighter squadron. Of course, me being me, I can promise you this, you will see a Valkyrie skin just like the one that I've been using in FSX and up to recently, Flight Sim World as well. So yeah, we're going to be seeing that. Although it is still debatable as to whether or not Ali is going to be flying with me. I'll have more on that once I decide. So yeah, Tomcat is coming, and as far as I'm able to gather, it looks like... Hold on, I gotta turn. It looks like the Tomcat is in a pretty advanced stage of development. And now I gotta line up again. See, this is what I hate about formation flying with AI. I really should be checking the... Whoa! I really should be checking where I'm going. Of course, I don't have the track IR on, so that could be a problem as well. And the reason why I do not have track IR, a lot of you have mentioned, my webcam is dead, and I have not gotten around to purchasing a new webcam. When that happens, I will, of course, get free track no IR back in position. Or maybe I'll just save up my pennies and get the Oculus Rift, since I intend to be testing that out again at Flight Sim Con this coming weekend. I really want the Oculus Rift. That is a game changer right there. But yeah, once I get one of those two items, I'm sure I'll be able to do a lot more multiplayer flights, and I'm sure I'll actually master the fine art of both formation flying and air-to-air refueling, which is another thing that I suck at, so sorry about that. Alright, but getting back to the Tomcat, they are in an advanced stage of development, so I really do believe that we are going to be getting this sucker this year. Most likely it's going to be in an alpha state. However, you know, with DCS, alpha state doesn't really mean much. All that means is we can now fly it. And of course, they will accept feedback for any bugs that they might need to get rid of. So yeah, Tomcat, also coming soon, finally. And I can't even tell you how happy I am. Alright, let's go outside and take a quick look at what's going on here, and I will be back to talk a little bit about the Harrier. So let's talk a little bit about the Harrier. The Harrier, of course, is being designed and created by Razbam. Razbam, of course, is the maker of the Mirage. So with the Harrier, we have something that is going to be completely unique to DCS. And I say that, but as I'm thinking about it, you know, BMS Falcon 4.33 does have a Harrier. I've shown it before on this channel. However, I don't know, since that is, you know, essentially a mod, I don't know if it's going to have the same fidelity as the one that Razbam's working on. And it just suddenly dawned on me, I lost my wingmen. Where the hell are they? What altitude are we at? We are at 6,900, so that means those guys should be above us. Oh, there they are. Okay, let's get back into formation and I'll continue talking about the Harrier here. So yeah, Razbam's been working on the Harrier, and I gotta say, guys, a lot of people have been giving Razbam crap for posting so many videos of an incomplete product and this, that, and the other thing. Let me just tell you something. The fact that they're even sharing with us what they are doing with the Harrier is a godsend. I love being able to see the progress that they're making on an almost daily basis. And let me tell you, they're making a lot of progress on this thing. They've already got some temporary textures on this sucker right now, where basically you can see what an actual texture would look like.
Passing waypoint 7 at 8,000.
Thank you, Enfield 1. Okay, next waypoint, we are going to be hitting the deck, so we're going to be dropping from about 8,000 to about 200 feet. So I really need to make sure that I give these guys a wide berth, but also stay in formation. But yeah, getting back to the whole Razbam Harrier thing, people have been giving them crap, and I really don't think that it is justified. They don't have to show us what they've been doing with this stuff, but they've opted to do so on a very regular basis. And even the last thing that they put up was a cold and dark startup on the Normandy map. So not only have they confirmed that it'll work with the Georgia map, the one that we're on right now, but they've already confirmed that it'll work on the NTTR map, and now it'll also work on a Normandy map. I'd say they're making a tremendous amount of progress, and I am really, really happy to see what Razbam has been doing with this thing. They're trying to keep the weapons as authentic as possible, so they're doing their research and they're actually contacting the Marine Corps, find out the status of some of the weapons that are being used, and we're going to make sure that when we get the Harrier, since it is basically a new item to DCS World, it's going to have the same level of fidelity that they have done with the Mirage. That I'm really looking forward to. Even though, you know, like I've said before, the Tomcat is the absolute favorite. Don't get me wrong. I'm looking forward to doing some Viffin in the Harrier as well. I want to be down in the weeds with my hair on fire, just like I've been with the Viggen. It's going to be good. And it looks like I've already got a proto squadron being formed right now, because Gorilla Me, another YouTuber that I highly recommend that you subscribe to and watch his videos, he's already stated he's waiting for that Harrier, and he will gladly fly with me on missions. So I could be in the Tomcat, he could be in the Harrier, and it's going to be a lot of rip-roaring, boom-flowery good time. I can't wait. I really can't wait. Okay, I'm going to stop talking for a little bit here because I want to check the knee board and see exactly where we are. So let me just zoom this sucker out. Okay, we just passed 2 ops. Whoop, I'm losing formation again. Alright, so we should be closing in on Sochi. The next waypoint, as I stated, we're going to be dropping to the deck, so I'm going to pull back from these guys a little bit and drop out of formation, because I know what's going to be coming next. They are going to be all crazy trying to get down to the deck. And I'd rather not slam into any of these 3 aircraft on my way down. But while we're here, let's take a quick look at our boys behind us and see how they're doing. Okay, looks like everybody is doing fine. Perfect. Map, how close are we to our waypoint? Probably about a minute or 2 away. Okay, this distance should be great as long as I can keep eyes on all 3 of them in the forward view. It should be good. And let me just make sure 2 is in position. Yes, he is. 3 is in position. Yes, he is. I am out of position. Yes, I am. And I'm thinking that these clouds are not where I put them. I was pretty certain to put them about 1,000 feet to about 3,000 feet. They're not supposed to be up here at 8,000, so I don't know what's up with that.
Infield 1, passing waypoint 8 at 8,000.
Okay, that is our cue. Everybody's going to start heading to the deck, so I'm going to drop the throttle to idle. We'll stabilize our descent and put our speed brakes out. And once again, the AI is a little bit squirrely, so you're going to notice it doing like what I call a dolphin maneuver, where it's pitching up, it's pitching down while it's trying to descend. It's really not how the Albatros should fly. But it is AI, and AI is AI. As long as I can see them and I'm not slamming into them, I'm not going to worry about it. So for this next portion of our little journey here, we are going to take it to Sochi. When we get to Sochi, we're going to overfly the port, and then we're going to go out to sea in preparation to come in at Sochi Airport, and that will be the end of this episode. So there we go. But I gotta say, man, I'm really, really liking a lot of the stuff that's coming up with DCS. I haven't even discussed anything that I believe Polychop is working on. They're actually working on a new helicopter. I want to say it's a Messerschmitt, either a Messerschmitt Bokal Blom or something like that. I don't know a lot of the details on it because, well, historically Polychop tends to choose helicopters that I'm not all that interested in. So naturally I haven't really paid too much close attention to anything that they're doing. But suffice to say, they're really great developers, and I wish them all the luck with the helos that they are creating, or the helo, I should say, that they are creating. And I just realized I'm overflying this sucker here, so... Whoa! Okay, I'm going to hit the deck. I am definitely going to hit the deck, because I'm going way faster than these guys are. Holy crap! I just lost 2! Whoops! Well, that was largely unexpected. And you know what? I'm just going to keep recording because 2 is ejecting. He's fine. He can walk to the airport. He's good. Sorry, 2! And whoever else I hit. Holy crap. Wow, looks like 3 got some damage as well. That's no bueno. So it must have taken out 4 aircraft. Okay, so we have 4 left, so it only took out 2 aircraft, but it still took out his rudder, which of course is no bueno. And where the hell is he? Is he way the hell up there? There he is. Okay, I'm gonna follow him. Okay, so remember when I said that I was gonna stay far back from these guys? Yeah, this is exactly what I was trying to avoid. I'm just glad it wasn't me that got hit. But the show must go on, so we will light a candle for our fallen brothers as we wait for them to walk their happy asses back to the airport. And in the meantime, we're going to go ahead and finish up this flight, because that is what I do. So yeah, I was talking about Polychop's helicopter. I don't know too much about it. As more information becomes available, I will make you aware. I will definitely be getting it, but that's only because I always get the helicopters, even if I don't fly them as often as I would like. Now, I do know that there are some other World War II planes that are supposed to be in the works as well, but again, since I really don't have any plans on doing World War II aircraft, you're probably not going to hear much information out of me. If there's something noteworthy and significant, like, hey, this thing is finally going into alpha, hell yeah, I'll tell you about it. But as of right now, it's not something that has garnered a lot of interest from me. Alright, where the hell is that dude? Oh, there he is. Dude, you might want to wait for the rest of us here. You already lost 1 wingman. Wow. Well, I said there wasn't going to be any Boomflowahs, but it looks like I lied. It wasn't the kind of Boomflowahs we were expecting, though. Alright, he's heading for the water, so I'm going to do the same thing. Oh, and I know why I'm not getting any speed. My speed brakes are still out. Okay, there we go. Now we should be increasing speed. We'll catch up with him. We'll do a quick check. I think that dude's a little bit gun shy. He does not want to come back down. He is like, nope, I'm done with you guys in your formation flying. You guys suck. But, on the bright side, here's Sochi, and we're going to go outside and take our title shot. was starting to get a little bit paranoid there, folks, because I thought he was going to smack into me, and that would have been all she wrote, because I'm over water now. I'm not walking back. But it looks like we are okay. Alright, so I'm going to head out to sea here a little bit. We're going to trim it up and hope that 3 is in formation, and then at this point in time we're going to want to get the radio up and running. Okay, so we're going up. We'll bring it up to about 2,000. And while I'm at it, we're going to change our frequency to frequency 2, which should be Sochi. Alright, there's our guy there. That is 4. Really have no idea where 5 is, or 6, as the case may be, because I think 5 was the one who got hit by 2. And 3 should still be behind me, but considering the fact that he's missing a rudder, I don't expect him to be flying too fast. Not that the rudder has anything to do with the speed, but, you know. Alright, let's contact Sochi while I'm thinking about it.
Sochi, Pontiac 9-1, inbound.
Speaking of which, where is Sochi in relation to here?
Pontiac 9-1, Sochi, fly heading 17646, QFE 767.53,
Alright.
runway 06 to pattern altitude.
There we go, there's our runway. Okay, so yeah, we're really not that far off. I'm going to go ahead and throttle back to about 50% throttle in prep to land. And we'll also get our landing lights back on. And you know what? I just realized I did not flick these nav lights over to flashing. But even with the nav lights and anti-collision on, it still couldn't save 2. Oh well. Clearly the AI still needs a little bit of work. Alright, let's see. Airport, you are there, so you know what? I'm going to go ahead and make my turn from now. Nice, gentle, shallow turn here as I lose airspeed, so that way I can put the gear out in the flaps. And let's see if we can find 3. Oh, looks like 3 is right here with me. This is awesome. Okay, cool beans. I'm going to go ahead and put our speed brakes down because we need to lose some airspeed. We need to get it below about 200 knots before I can put the gear out. I could probably put the gear out now and use that as speed brakes, but I kind of like to keep it within the limits. Alright, good deal. Right about there is good, so gear can come down. And I did not say nose can come down. We need to trim back up here. Okay, let's contact tower. Alright. And request landing.
Sochi, Pontiac 9-1, request landing.
And I see 3 in my rear view mirror.
Pontiac 9-1, Sochi, clear to land, runway 06, wind 223, at 2 meters per second.
Okay, so it looks like we're going to do a formation landing here with a crippled bird. You know what? I'm going to allow this to happen. This will be fine. So, let's go ahead and get the flaps down 1. I think our speed should be okay for that. Yep, there we go. Flaps 1. While we're slowing down here, I will put the speed brakes up. Put us down to flaps 2. Whoa, and we're going to balloon. 3, don't get too close, buddy. Do not get too close. I don't know where he went, but as long as he's not on my butt. Oh, no, I see him in the mirror. Okay, looks like he's still in landing configuration, so this is good. Okay, so I guess that means I'm taking the left side of the runway. Now, I will remind you with this aircraft, you want to keep your speed up and use your speed brakes as needed, because if you drop your speed to idle, that is a no-no in this aircraft. It takes 10 seconds for the engine to spool back up. I'll trim down a little bit here. We're just going to overfly the smoke. Let's do a quick check to make sure everything's looking good. Okay, everything's looking good. That was the outer marker beacon. Well, actually, I think that was the inner marker beacon. Or maybe it was a medium marker. Who knows? I see no sign of 3, so I don't know if he's still with me, but that is okay because I'm still landing on the left side. There's our low altitude warning. Now we can bring her in. Just like that. Nice and easy. Okay, speed brakes back out. And we're just going to take it all the way down. Quick look outside. Yeah, I guess 3 decided to bail on me. That's okay, though. That is okay. I'll let him slide with that one. Alright, let's hit the brakes. Maybe I can hit one of these turn-offs. Well, that wasn't it. We'll try the next turn-off. There it is. There it is. I don't know if I can make it in time.
Pontiac 9-1. Taxi to parking area.
Alright, that's good enough for me. Perfect. And ladies and gentlemen, here we are in Sochi. So what an eventful flight. That is not exactly how I intended it to go, but you know what? We're here. I'm here. That's all that counts, right? We won't worry about our wingmen because they can just walk. But I am going to find my parking spot here. So let's do that real quick. You know what? I could probably take it all the way to the end. I could, but let's face it, I really don't want to. I think I've gnawed your ear off with my words enough for today. Yeah, that's a new thing. I'm gnawing your ear off. Alright, right here is good. Brakes! 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 Whew! Okay. So yeah, welcome to Sochi. Let's go ahead and put the parking brake on. Okay, good deal. So the other guys should be coming down relatively soon. So while that is going on, I'm going to go ahead and start turning some stuff off. Flight recorder, we're good. Thank you for the assistance. Pitot heat, we'll turn you off. Oxygen, we can also turn you off because I won't be needing you for the rest of this. There we go. Lights, we can put you to off, and we'll start getting some of these switches down. Radio, I'm going to put back to channel 0, and we'll leave the inverters and the radio switch on for the time being while I'm turning everything else off. That we don't need. And to turn off the actual engine itself, there's multiple ways of doing it. You could hit one of these switches here, the stop engine switch, or you could simply put your throttle into idle stop. Guess which one I chose to do. Alright, unlock the canopy, get rid of the pressurization. There we go. And there you have it. Alrighty folks, so by the time you watch this, I should be getting ready to head out to Flight Sim Con. I'm going to try and see if I can put it up maybe a day early, just in case. And I sincerely hope that you have enjoyed the information that I've presented here, as well as the flight, including the disaster between 2 and 5 there. Wow, I had no idea that was coming. Jeez. Okay. But anyway, this has been BelGeode. I've been flying in DCS World 1.5.6, otherwise known as the Open Beta. I've been in the L-39 Charlie model Albatros, one of my favorite planes, and this livery is exactly the same livery that I use in FSX. It is not currently available. I'm not sure if I'm ever going to make it available. It's just my personal livery because, well, it's me. Alright, but that having been said, if you've enjoyed what you've seen, please feel free to give me a like. Don't forget to subscribe if you haven't already done so. And I can tell you that the next episode is going to be a Viggen episode, so stay tuned for that. And that'll be coming after I come back from Flight Sim Con and wrap up everything having to do with that convention. But for now, I'm going to call it quits. So thank you again for watching. I will catch you on the next episode. Ciao!